right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds. In the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. And what I want to get into today, is dealing with, the Lord will yet choose Israel, and that's the big controversy that's in the earth, because here it is, for decades, you've been having these imposters, pretend to be us, okay? Those 48ers, those small hats, all right? They're pretending, for decades, they pretended to be us, all right? Pure imposters, man. And there was no uproar. Matter of fact, the earth supported it. The majority of the people of the earth supported, their claim to being the chosen people, okay? And they've been able to benefit, okay, bomb, you know, great, rob, all right, and just be a complete, all right, terrorist in the earth, all right, under the banner of being the chosen people and the victim, okay? But as we begin to claim who we are, the true people, all right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, and you have our people that look like the other nations, you see, but you have a lot of our people, come from these ethnic groups, okay, the Esau calls, so-called Negro, so-called Latino, so-called Native American, okay, it's when those people begin to make the claim to who they were as Israelites as a chosen people, okay, then there's a kickback, even amongst our own people, okay, and the Lord set it up like that, that's why you have, let's read this first, is Isaiah, all right, 14:1, it says, the Lord will have mercy upon Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Okay, and those strangers are Israelite foreigners, man. All right, that's going to cleave to the house of Jacob, their lineage, their promise. Okay, but what we're seeing now, the fact that we have the truth, the fact that we have this word, all right, that shows that the Lord has chosen his people. Okay, the fact that he's given us a spirit to have faith, okay, the gift of faith that the scriptures say, all right, the spirit of prophecy, the Rakakwadash, okay, the comforter, all right, that's a token, all right, it's a sign, that's proof that the Lord has chosen his people once again, okay, and this is the major controversy that's in the earth, man. All the wickedness that this devil is doing real time in the earth, and people's main, all right, complaint in the earth is about the Hebrew Israelites, whom they call the black Hebrew Israelites. They want to attach us to that stigma of black, which is all negative, man, which is all degenerate. All right, the legacy of black, all right, is absolutely atrocious, man. And that's what we separate ourselves from. As the scriptures say, we've been brought out of, all right, darkness into light. You see, but there was no problem when Jake was in darkness, because Jake was always, because this society had always pointed, Jake, okay, in their lower state, that degenerate nigger state, the woman in their nigger woman, you know, ratchet estate, they can always point to them as the problem of, okay? But there was no outcry about niggas, man. There was no outcry about the nigger woman. The earth functioned perfectly. But when we began to proclaim who we are, all right, then, all right, that's when we see a bunch of kickback, man. But it must be so. All right, that's why you go here. I believe it's Hosea 4:6. Let's get me 4:1. Yep. It says, hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. All right. For the Lord has a controversy, all right, with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, no mercy, no knowledge of the Most High in the land, and it's beginning with our people, because as we were the chosen people that came with a responsibility, man, we were supposed to be the people of truth, and the Lord had a controversy with us because we fell away from, the way that he prescribed, truth, righteousness, man. And as he in his latter time is raising up a remnant, okay, he has a controversy with the rest of our people, okay, that still continue on in these lies, man. Because you look into nigga culture, all right, the Most High is not in all the nigga culture, man. Okay, their concept of God of Jesus, those entities have nothing to do with the Bible, and that's why they only wax worse. Okay, look at our people's behavior under the banner of black culture. Okay, look at our people's behavior. Look at their discernment. Okay, look at the dysfunction among God and Jesus and Christianity, man. Okay, so our people have no, all right, true understanding of the God of the Bible. Okay, they don't know His Son. All right, they don't understand the narrative of the Scripture. They don't understand prophecy, man. Okay, the Lord has a controversy with them, man. Okay, and when you keep going, here's another one I want to get. Um, thinking I find. This is not reading too. Okay, because it's these devils. They've been the ones, at the forefront of trying to cover up who we are. All right, and the Lord has a major problem with it. You see, as He's now, okay, raising His people up, and the devil is still trying to suppress us. Because there was a time the Lord allowed the devil to strip us away from our heritage, man. The Lord gave us into the devil's hand, okay, to be punished. You know, being under Esau, Edom is a punishment. And part of that punishment was the Lord took His name off us, man, because we didn't know who we were. Okay, and we were calling ourselves by these bywords. Okay, anything that we call ourselves outside of being an Israelite is a byword. Okay, you see, that's not who we are. Okay, and our people have taken these bywords and made a whole culture out of. Had became proud and linked themselves to these bywords that's not linked to anything, man, but a legacy of slavery. Okay, so if we have awakened to who we are, okay, now we're seeing that the earth is being stirred up, man, because this is a this is a this is a monkey wrench, okay, in the engine of this society which ran off deception. Okay, so um, let's go here. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, and verse 5. It said, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven; it shall come down upon Idumea and on the people of my curse or judgment." That's another thing, you know, and the fact that these devils, okay, have been able to pretend to be us. Well, people have forgotten who this devil was, man. They're Edomites. Because Idumea is just a Greek way of saying Edom. Okay? So you devils, have deceived the world, okay, into, a segment of you devils claim to be the chosen people. And then you have, these other Edomites and, this Christian white nationalists, go to Europe and America, these Western Edomites, all right, these Edomites and these Western nations, they proclaim themselves to be these white, all right, Edomite nationalists, which, well, I could do a lesson on that. So they claim to be either the chosen people directly by calling themselves, the Jews, okay, or under Christianity, they're the chosen people as well, under Christianity. You see, you go into the Mormon doctrines and all the madness that they believe. So here it is, these devils, have presented themselves to the earth as these special chosen people in righteousness, man, which is a complete lie. No, you're the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay? And the Lord has a great judgment for this devil, all right, coming soon. You see, as people look at this man, as some terrific nigga in the earth, all right, which the earth is waking up, but you still have, a demographic of simpletons, that look at this man as some type of savior, some type of, you know, humanitarian. Okay, no, the Lord has a judgment for this nigga, man. He's the wicked. Okay, and one thing he did a damn good job with deception, man. You know, if this devil can't do nothing else, he can deceive. You see. So going back into it, when you read the book, all right, of Isaiah 34 and 6, because they're sword in heaven is those missiles, man, that's gonna come to America. Okay, and the Lord got this story playing out beautifully, man. Because as we're proclaiming who we are, and these people are fighting against us, all right, the Lord is getting ready to nuke these people that fight against, okay, the elect, man. Okay, matter of fact, let's get that in Zechariah to show you. So the Lord has us, raised up proclaiming who we are, and you got all these arguments and these naysayers and these gainsayers and these mockers and these scoffers. Okay, which all of them just playing their part in prophecy, man. But the Lord got it set up to where as we're being delivered in the chariots, the Lord gonna have missiles rain down on them. Okay, the Lord gonna prove who we are, all right, through delivering us, changing us, okay, giving us new bodies, man, making the Israelite men gods in the earth. Okay, even the Israelite women, they're gonna get those new bodies they get delivered. Okay, we're gonna be a holy royal, all right, people of power, man. You see, saying we're speaking this into existence, and you got the world trying to suppress that, but they can't. You see, so let's go here to the book of Zechariah. Okay, Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. Okay, and it says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth." Okay, so this is the plague, all right, that's gonna come upon you people, which are those nukes. That's the last plague of the Lord's judgment, is the nukes, man. As the scriptures say, He's gonna plague Egypt as before. It's gonna be a lot of plagues that's gonna build up to the nukes. The famine, the pestilence, the disease, the violence. Okay, civil unrest. This place is gonna be plagued with insanity, which is already a madhouse, is just gonna increase. Okay, and their last plague, all right, to clear this bitch out is gonna be the nukes. So all these people that have so much to say about us proclaiming who we are, all right, and fight up against it, man, the Lord gonna nuke your ass, man. Okay, that's gonna be His response. We go through the precepts and the histories, and brothers go through artifacts, and like the brother El Kazak, he was all in New Mexico, at the stones, and the Hebrew writings in it, okay, showing you who we are, you know, uh, uh, brothers doing, on location video. But see, the Lord just gonna nuke your ass, man. Just the talking period now. You see, the Lord just gonna nuke your ass to silence. You see, and He's gonna deliver us, man. That's why when you go here, because this is the Lord's indignation. That's why Isaiah 26 and 20. Okay, all right, Isaiah 26 and 20. It says, "Come, my people, enter thou now into thou chambers." All right, and this is the elect going into those chariots, man. Going into those chambers, man. This is gonna be the consummation of their marriage. Our shot and law is gonna be in us, man. Okay? And it says, "And shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed." All right, so while we're in that chariots, where the Lord's indignation, okay, is going to be taking effect in the earth, man, mainly here in America, man. Going back to Zechariah 14 and 12, that's the Lord's indignation. Okay, people flesh, being flayed off them as they stand on their feet, their tongue, all right, consuming in their mouth, their eyes and their socket, man. Okay, it's gonna be a painful, okay, death, man, that the Lord is gonna bring. You see, so you people that want to play their role, right, and be mockers and scoffers against the truth, man, go ahead. Because we know how it plays out. You see, they're not here to convince you, man. We just here to proclaim to the hopeful elect who they are, man. You know, but the earth is offended at that, man. Especially our own people. All right, it's gonna be a lot of our own people that's gonna get caught up in that last plague of the nukes, man, because they're fighting against their own good news, their own gospel, man. Okay, no one but Israel would do that. Fight against their own good news, man. Okay, so going back into it, let's get that in second Ezra. All right, you know, there's a duality of Yahweh Shai, and that's that madness you people talking about the rapture, and you know, you dumb stupid people, and you Americans are so desperate for some type of change and some type of new beginning. You want to escape, you know, and they were just showing how desperate people are to escape this current situation. And here it is, we preach about, you know, a world, all right, of righteousness, man. Here it is, we preach about an earth where you don't have to worry about, you know, XCX trafficking, okay, pedos. You don't have to worry about, you know, the alphabet community, you know, damn, 6'3" nigga, okay, in the dressing room, you know, with your daughters and all that madness. No, man, we're preaching a whole new righteous order that's to come to the earth. Okay, you don't have to worry about, you know, being taxed. Okay, you know, triple, quadruple tax. Okay, you know, being put on this hamster wheel. You see, here it is. This is what we preaching to our people, and our people, you know, fight against it. But our people complain continually about this current situation, man. You know, and here it is. We're talking about a righteous kingdom to come to the earth to replace this wicked, defiled, you know, perverted kingdom. And people, all right, have a problem, man. You know, but like I said, the whole, you know, September 23rd madness shows how desperate people are for some type of relief, man. You know, to some type of escape. That's why this world is a full, this society, especially the West and here in America, is people trying to escape. You know, through alcohol, through sex, through, you know, through trying to chase money, through, you know, whatever their fix is, whatever their vice is. People are just trying to escape, man. Okay, but nah, man, Yahweh Shai, he's coming back to judge. He ain't just gonna come and you not know he coming and just a few niggas disappear. Okay, you know, you go to the break room and you know, and Jonathan, you know, and Linda gone. Nah, man. Okay, Yahweh Shai coming to wreak havoc, man. He's coming to deliver his elect. He's gonna snatch away his elect because you go into the word rapture. Okay, the elect are gonna be raptured right before the nukes. They're gonna be snatched away. Okay, but Yahweh Shai gonna be getting busy in the earth, man. It's in the nation. It's gonna be in the earth. Okay, so it's gonna be a duality, man. Those chairs are chairs of salvation. Okay, and also chairs of judgment. Matter of fact, let's get that in Zechariah as well. Zechariah chapter 5. Okay, this is the book of Zechariah chapter 5 verse 1. It said, "Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll." Okay, so Zechariah is seeing a chariot, you know, and it say he described it as a flying roll. But chariots can take different shapes, forms, sizes, you know. And so they not confined, all right, to, you know, the laws of physics and, you know, the certain laws that, you know, mortal men, okay, are confined in. And it says, and he said unto to me, "What seest thou?" And I answered, "I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits." Then he said unto me, "This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off on this side according to it, and everyone that swears shall be cut off on this side according to it. I will bring it forth, said the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief Esau Edom." And right now the earth is his house. Okay, so this is the chariots going to invade the house of Esau, man, which is the earth. Okay, so these chariots are going to be a curse to these devils, man. And it says they're going to enter the house of the thief. You see, so the chariots is coming back to get busy, man. It ain't gonna be no, you know, people just disappear. No, the chariot, you gonna know the chariots here. You gonna know you how shot back. Okay, you gonna know Yahushua came back, man. Okay, and you people are gonna be in awe of the people that he delivered, man. All right, the men, women, and children that you look at as nothing. Okay, that you look at as the problem of the earth. You see, going back into it, and it says, I will bring forth. I said, I will bring it forth, said the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that swears falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timbers thereof and the stones thereof, man. All right, you read this in the NLT at the end. It says, and my curse will remain in the house, which is those chariots, and completely destroy even its timbers and stones, man. So the infrastructure of America is just gonna be completely melted, man. Okay, you see the curse with those chariots, because it's gonna be a curse. Okay, to you heathens, beginning with Esau and you 2/3. Okay, but it's gonna be a blessing. All right, to the nation of Israel. That's why even here you go to Matthew. Get this in Matthew chapter 24. Okay, it's the book of Matthew chapter 24, and I started 29. It's a cut. All right, on you people talking about, a rapture before tribulation. Well, hey, easy cut. All right, Matthew 24:19. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened and the moon shall not give her light. You know, so hey, those chariots, they're gonna block out, hey, the sun, man. You know, it's gonna be because it's gonna be night, some places day. You know, in some places, man, those chariots are gonna fill the sky. Okay, and also, the knowledge, the wisdom, and understanding of this place is gonna be completely blotted out because everything you've been taught. See, you people, okay, have been um, cultivated in a lie. So you're not prepared for this part of the movie. You see, you still believe in this American dream, and you still believe in, the right president, the right politician, or the right economy, or the right this or the right that gonna get things back going. No, you haven't been all right, educated, okay, in this part of the movie because it's not given to you. Because the scriptures say, about what the mystery is given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom. Well, this kingdom is going to come in through what? Tribulation and war. Okay? So these people have not been given the understanding, okay, of this kingdom that's to come. You see, they don't understand the tribulation and the war, all right, that comes before the kingdom of Yahushua. You see? So you people are going to be completely confused at all these events that's getting ready to take place, man, leading up to the second coming of Yahushua. Okay? Because you know you're confused if someone can give you a date on the rapture and you dumb stupid people start selling stuff, you know you don't know what the hell is going on. Okay, and it says, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. You see that? And this going into these nukes, because Yahweh Shai and the nukes show up at the same time. Okay, it says, and then appeared the sign of the. It says, then appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. You see, because it's going to be a curse to the other families of the earth outside the elect. Even 2/3, they're going to be caught in it, because 2/3 are likened to heathens at this point, man. Okay, but it goes into the elect, being like a family within itself. That's why, who is thy brother, who is thy mother, except those that do the will of the Lord. So there's a spiritual family, of course, by lineage where I'll go back to Jacob. Okay, but then there's the elect is a spiritual family, you know, that came from the heavens, man. See, who's the elect was chosen, okay, and separated, from the rest of Israel in the heavens, man. Okay, and this is what we see being reunited and gathered by this word, that spiritual family, you know, from the heavens, man. You know, we all came through the physical lineage of Israel, okay? But this is the true family. The true families are the elect, man, because the elect is going to be the progenitors of the rest of the nation, man. You get with those first fruit men. So the true family of Israel begins with the elect of Israel, man. Okay, that's why we cleave closer to our spiritual family than our earthly family, man. Okay, so going on, and it says, and then shall the appearance of the sun, then shall appear the sign, okay, of the Son of Man in heaven in the atmosphere. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Yeah, man. So you're gonna see it's gonna be a glory. You know, this is the King of Kings. This is Yahweh Shah, man. The ultimate Judite, man. You know the type of appearance he gonna make in the earth, man. When he get here, man. Okay. Do you understand like what his presence in this realm gonna do to the earth, man? You see, you know. So this ain't gonna be no a lifetime movie. Okay, Left Behind. The interstate just bagged up because niggas done got raptured. No, it's gonna the main event gonna be Howard Shah himself coming into this realm. That's gonna be the main event. Those people in those chariots going up, that's gonna be a part of the show. But the main event gonna be Howard Shah. But the elect going into the chariots and being changed, that's a part of the show. But the main event is Yahweh Shai coming and getting down in the earth, man. Okay? So reading on, it says, it says, um, it says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather his elect from the four winds, from the one end of the earth to the other. So that's gonna be Israel. Okay, that's Israel. His elect is Israel. Let's prove his elect is Israel. So you're gonna have, you know, the people, being destroyed and destroyed by the chariots. Okay, being tormented by those chariots, man. The nuke's gonna be coming down. Okay, but then on the flip side, you're gonna have what? Yet shall I choose Israel? There's a remnant of Israel that's gonna be in those chariots. All right, and being preserved, man, to come back down and rule the earth in righteousness, man. Okay, so we're gonna go back to Isaiah 14 on Baratazah. Okay, but you go just to prove, because who is the Lord elect? You get Isaiah, all right. What's that? Yep, this Isaiah 45:4. It said, "For Jacob, my servant's sake, okay, and Israel, mine elect." You see, for Jacob, my servant's sake, all right, and Israel, mine elect. I have even called thee by name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. Okay, you see. So the Lord considers his elect to be Israel, and within Israel, there's an elect within the elect. All right, but you can go to Isaiah 65, okay, it shows you that there's an elect within the elect, okay, and it says, and I will bring this Isaiah 65 and 11. I started at 8, the point at 8. It says Isaiah 65 and 8. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, as the new wine is found in a cluster, all right, and one saith, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it, so will I do for my servant's sake, that I may not destroy them all, which is Israel. Okay? So the Lord's not going to destroy all of Israel. You see? In this judgment, there's going to be a remnant that he preserved. Okay? And that Israel, I mean, that remnant it's gonna become a blessing to the earth, man. You know, that it's gonna be a rigorous captivity for 1,000 years for you heathens. All right, but the earth itself, because that's one thing, you heathens, your rigorous captivity, because Israel gonna be a blessing to the creation first, man. You know, the animals, the plants, the trees, the herbs, the gardens, agriculture. Yeah, it's gonna be a blessing to the earth, man. The oceans, the water, the rivers. Okay, they can't wait till the right rulers get back in power, man. Okay, and after 1,000 years, after you heathens, okay, get the Esau beat out your ass, then you're gonna be able to enjoy the earth. Okay, as our subjects forever, man. Okay, you heathens are gonna be in forever subjection, man. But after 1,000 years, all right, you're gonna get to enjoy a righteous kingdom. You're not gonna have spiritual power. You're not gonna be in the covenant. You're not gonna have immortality. You're not gonna have access, okay, to the parts of the earth we're gonna have access to. All the parts of the earth that we're, going to get to enjoy. It's gonna be a lot of exclusive places for only Israelites, man, in the kingdom, man. All right, you heathens just like Jake, got to go work amongst, you know, these Edomites and take their ass back to the ghetto. Okay, well you're not gonna be living after 1,000 years. You're not gonna be living. Ain't gonna be no slums and ghettos and all those things. Okay, but you're gonna have to go back, hey, amongst your people, man. After you build up certain parts of the earth, man, you gonna, hey, you can't come here. And then there's certain parts of the earth that's just so decked out naturally, man, that hey, it's gonna be chill spots, man. All right, for Israelites, man, you heathens ain't gonna have access. Okay, just like we don't have access, in this kingdom. All right, you heathens not gonna have the access in our kingdom. You're gonna be servants, man, but you're gonna get to enjoy, a righteous rulership. After that 1,000 year period, man, after the rigorous captivity, okay, it scrapulates the Esau when you heathens, man, okay, which has tainted you, you heathen, man, okay. Reading on, it says Isaiah 65 and 9 says, I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountains, and mine elect shall inherit it, and my servants shall dwell therein. Okay? Mine elect shall inherit it because there's an elect of Israel within Israel. Okay? But Israel is that elected nation. It's selected nation from the beginning. Okay? And amongst that, you have an elect. Okay? Within that, there was allotted to be preserved from this destruction, man. Okay? So the Lord has still chosen Israel, man. You see, and there's nothing that can be done about it. Matter of fact, even when you go back to the blessing, when Isaac was when Esau was crying to Isaac, all right, this Genesis 27 and 30. And it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out of from the presence of Isaiah his father, that Esau his brother came in from hunting. All right, and it said Jacob was scarce gone, so he probably seen, a piece of Jacob fro hitting the corner. All right, and Jacob got everything. Jacob probably had just, he probably seen the back of that fro hit the corner of that tent, you know, the tabernacle. Okay, and Isaac, Esau come, he probably looked at Jacob like, and then he proceeded to try to get that blessing, man. But it wasn't for him, it's for us anyway. Just like now, Esau is, because Esau was hunting. Like now, Esau is hunting spirits and souls. Okay, well, while he's doing all that, tied up into all this, guess what? The Lord getting ready to bless us, man. Okay, and as this devil, is at the peak of his war to try to establish his new world order, man, the Lord gonna. That's why I say the righteous shall what? Be scarcely be saved. He gonna get us out of here. Okay, he's gonna punish Esau, man. Okay, you're gonna be supplanted again, man. This time for good. And you already supplanted. The fact that we got the truth, the fact that we've awakened to who we are, His word is out here in the atmosphere. You're done. Okay, you are done. You see, the prince of this world is judged already, man. Yahushua said that over 2,000 years ago. So going back into it, it says in verse 31, it says he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat his son's venison, that my soul, all right, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac, his father, said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, all right, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, who? Where is he that have taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten, and all before, all right, I said, and I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed them. Yeah, and he shall be blessed. So Isaac said, yeah, I done blessed whoever came before you, and he shall be blessed. He doubled down on it. You see? And I know you devils listening, man. That's probably one of your you know, I know that's one of the precepts you hate. Isaac doubled down on it and said, yes, and he shall be blessed, man. Nothing you devils can do about it, man. Okay? Your weak ass AI ain't gonna work. All right? Your weak ass military ain't gonna work. Okay? When it comes to your house shot. Okay? Your goddamn your wealth ain't gonna work. Okay, because all the true wealth you got, we finna get that. Okay, Edomite, you finna be what they call a brokey. You know, Eve be calling Jake. All right, you Edomite, you finna be a brokey in the earth, man. Your net zero, I mean, your net worth is gonna be a $0, because you don't need no money, and you won't need no money in our kingdom. All you need is your labor. We need your labor. All right, we're gonna feed you with just enough nutrients to go to work. Okay, you're gonna be housed in pits. Okay, so you won't need any money. You won't need any electricity and water. No, we just gonna need your raw labor. Okay, you're gonna have just enough to live. All right, so we can get that labor, man. Okay, the net worth in the kingdom will be zero for 1,000 years while you destroy it, man. Okay, if we find out one Edomite has a grain of dust of gold or silver, man. Okay, it's gonna be a great example made, man. Okay, so nah, you devils, you finna lose everything, man. You see, and there's nothing you can do about the true Israelites being blessed, and you can't do nothing about us reaching immortality, man. Okay, and the scriptures say that. You see, let's go there. Let's get there real quick in Second Ezra, and then we'll go back to get that in Isaiah. So this is Second Ezra. All right, chapter 11. No, chapter 7. Yep, the Second Ezra chapter 7 and verse 43, it says, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time. Yeah, the time of Esau's rulership. It's going to end in doom. Okay, it's going to end with the Lord getting busy. All right, in those chariots, man. Okay, and it says, in the beginning of immortality for Israel, for to come, wherein corruption is past. Yeah, these old bodies, these corruptible bodies, man. Okay, and this corruptible system that Yahweh is coming to destroy. So he's going to be destroying this corruptible system. Okay, and he's going to change us out these corruptible bodies, man. So corruption is going to be past. Okay, now it's time for a standard of righteousness. Okay, to settle in the earth, man. And it says, then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed. Yeah, you Edomites are done. You know, the niggas could, they would deliver Esau. Okay, well, that's why the Lord just gonna destroy niggas with Esau, man. You coon niggas. Okay, you two-third unruly, degenerate niggas and nigga women. The Lord just gonna lump you all together. Okay, he got you lumped up together in America to destroy you niggas with. Okay, your lover Esau, man. Okay, because the niggas make it their life mission to prove that Esau can be saved. Okay, and the Lord gonna nuke your dumb ass. All right. So let's go back, and it says and temperance is at an end, okay, which is undisciplined, and infidelity is cut off. Yeah, so there's gonna be no such thing as an atheist. When Yahweh Shah show up, ain't no such thing as an atheist, man. You see, won't be an atheist in the kingdom. Well, I don't believe. No, nigga, he here. We here. We an extension of him. We gonna be. It's gonna be many gods in the earth, man. Israelite men in the earth, man. So it's gonna be impossible to be an atheist, man. So infidelity gonna be cut off, okay? And it says, intemperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that have gotten the victory, man. Nor oppress him that got the victory, man. You got the victory through your house shot. Okay, so you ain't gonna be able to stop. Okay, because even our own people, man, especially the nigga woman, because they don't want the Israelite man to have a goddamn thing, boy. You see, you ain't gonna be able to stop this victory here, baby. You see, the Esau kingdom, you able to just destroy Jake life, you know, have Jake in ruins, but nah, your house shot show up, all this over. Even in Jacob trouble, that's gonna be over, man. You know, the Lord is gradually stripping away the power from this world, and it's being translated to His sons, man. Okay, so we're part of something powerful, man. We're part, a major change in righteousness in the earth, man. And they can't stop it. You can't stop us from being chosen. You can't stop us from going on those chairs. All right, getting those new bodies, coming back down. Okay, dominating you heathens in righteousness, man. Okay, but Yahweh Shai, dividing the earth amongst His brethren, man. You can't stop it. Okay, you can't stop that process, man. I know Esau, you want us to be niggas forever. You want us to be out here chasing, the money and chasing these trash ass women forever. I know that's what you want us to be. Nah, we off there, man. You know, we on being joint heirs with our brother now, big bro. Okay, that's what we on now, man. All right, you can have all this shit that you done set up, man. Okay, we don't want it. We not attached to anything, man. We chasing thrones now. Okay? The Israelite man tapped back into his power. That's the biggest threat to Esau's power structure, man. The earth can't function right with the Israelite man tapped back into his power. Okay? This wicked system can't function right with the Israelite man tapped back in his power. This system is based on us, okay, just being, these horny niggas in the earth. Okay, simple horny niggas in the earth. Okay, that's passive. Okay, and Carl Winslow. See, he wants us to be Carl Winslow or either Tupac forever, man. Okay, but nah, man, them enchantments them been broken off the elect, man. Okay, and we've awakened to who we are. Okay, so the elect is roused up. You see, and what does us being in our power go back? Go back to? Let's go back. Okay, you see, you can't shut that door. That's why Esau wants to tap into people's neurons and his neural link, man. He really, he wants to remove the prophets and he wants to tap into people's neurons so he can stop people from awakening. You know, he wants it. He in his mind, he's gonna destroy the prophets and the ministry, and he's gonna have these sea hips in people to control their minds to where there can't be another awakening, man. That this is the biggest threat to this devil, man. The Israelite man being linked back to his power. That's the biggest threat. This is what this devil is afraid of. This is what got him weird in his counsel, man. Okay? So going back to Isaiah 14, because us being in our power, what does that mean for the heathen, man? Okay? It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1 again, said, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. All right, Israelite foreigners. You see, cleaving to the house, the lineage, the promises. Because what's attached to their house? Promises, man. Okay? And it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess, all right, them in the land of the Lord. And this is speaking of the heathens now. It went from speaking to Israelite foreigners to now heathens being brought to their place. So when we, as us coming back into who we are, all right, the Lord's getting ready to put us in that land. And that land represents world dominion because we're going to rule the world out of Jerusalem, out of Israel, man. So us being put back in that land is Israelites back in rulership of the earth, man. Okay? And it says, and then when you're in rulership, what do you need? Servants. Okay? So we're going to be the mastermind behind this righteous kingdom under Yahweh Shai. Okay? The infrastructure, this kingdom being built up, we're going to be the mastermind behind these things. And it's going to be the heathen, their labor that's going to make it, all right, come to life. Okay? It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Okay? And this is what these devils fear. Okay? Being captives under Israel, man. Because these devils know the atrocities they done to us, man. So they know when we get back in their power, and we in power now. We back. It's over. Yahweh Shai, he sealed the deal. That's why Yahweh Shai, that's why Yahweh Shai was so focused on the assignment. Because he knew if he do this, we was gonna be good. Yahweh Shai knew if I do this, we good, man. That's why he told his parents, like, y'all knew I'm about my father's business, man. You know? Y'all know what this is about. But see, they didn't understand. It wasn't given to them to understand. But as we've been awakened in this time, we understand the assignment. We begin to understand our assignment, our part in this, man. You know? But Yahweh Shai already set the play up. You devils are done. All right? Jacob got out on you again. Jacob supplanted your ass again, man. You lost again, Esau. Okay? And all this shit you got, man, we just watching you and reporting and going into the news, all right, to let our people know where we at with it, man. But ultimately, man, all this shit you doing, why the Lord said, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. All this shit you conspiring, you in this meeting, the G Summit, the Bilderberg, you know, the Davos meeting, the WEF, the WHO, okay, you know, all these goddamn meetings, man, that shit not gonna work. Okay, you gonna fool, you know, a lot of people, and people gonna be simple. That's because they give it to you to judge them. Okay, but for the elect, you have no victory over the elect, man. The elect has a victory through Yahweh Shai. You're out of here, man. Okay, so we're just watching you scramble, you know, and this is amusing to us, man. You know, and then we got the Feast of Weeks coming up. All right, I believe it's next Sunday, man. Okay, once they go to the end gathering, Lord will, we can, you know, tap into that, you know, in the spirit as it get closer, man. You know, brothers gonna be popping bottles on you Edomites, man, in your kingdom, and you done. Okay, and you can't make a move on brothers until the Lord tell you to, man. Till our power allow you to, man. That's what Yahweh Shai told Pilate, man. Like, nigga, you won't have no power unless it came from the Father, man. Let's get that, man. You know, talk crazy to the nigga Esau. He gonna cut the internet. You know, you talk crazy to this nigga on his internet, man. You know. Let's go here on St. John chapter 19. You see? It's St. John 19 and 10. It says, then said Pilate, all right, unto him, speakest thou unto me? Knowest thou that, knowest thou not that I have power to crucify thee and have power to release thee? Yahweh Shai answered, thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore, he that delivered me unto thee have the greatest sin. So Yahweh Shai, you know, Pilate, like, don't you know I got the power to release thee or crucify thee? Yahweh Shai said, look, man, the power you got came from my Father, man. Okay? And these niggas that delivered me to you, they got the greatest sin. Okay? So Yahweh Shai, like, look, man, there was no power you talking about. Okay? Pilate, you a governor. So you just a do boy to the Caesar. Okay? And the power that the Caesar got was given by the Father, man. Okay? So the power that you devils got come from our power, man. Okay? And Yahweh Shai come to strip you of everything, man. Ain't nothing you can do about it. That weak ass space station. Okay, you see, you shot that Hellfire missile at the chariot. Okay, broke it up. Light work, man. Okay, but you wait till them chairs get on the offensive. Okay, you wait till them chairs get the green light. Okay, and you keep all that Christian white nationalist energy. Okay, because you devils been hooping and hollering with this, you know, this MAGA and this right. You know, we talking about they waking up the warriors, the left and woke up the warriors. Well, wake your ass up, man. Okay, make your move. You ain't make your move. Okay, go see about Iran. Okay, so Russia can jump in, China can jump in, America jump in, get their ass drug, and you have a shot gonna pull up. Okay, yeah, you know, go, keep going from city to city. I think they in Memphis next. Take care of the Memphis, do what you gotta do. Go to all these nigga cities and do what you gotta do. Clear them niggas out. All right, then take your ass to Iran. Okay, make the MOTB mandatory. All right, and when you have a shot come, keep that same energy, man. Okay, you can make the most out as mad as you want. Keep that same energy, man. You see, when that portal open up, okay, the atmosphere and your house shot come through with that heavenly host. Okay, you just keep all that energy you got right now. Okay, so going back to it, nothing the devil can do to stop going into captivity, man, under us. You see, Isaiah 14 and 3, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall give thee rest, okay, from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from thy hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, man. This hard bondage we was made to serve, man. The Lord won't give us rest. Okay, we finna come into our rest, man. So we got everything coming, man. Cause right now it's just about surviving to your house shot, man. You know, and we take our little daily bread, do what we gotta do, make moves, make things happen, man. You know, hey, may the Lord, continue to keep us, man. To clothe us and feed us, man. Okay, shelter us. There's gonna be a time it's gonna get uncomfortable, man. We got everything coming and we got the victory, man. Okay, this little moment of comfort, okay, compared to an eternal rest, man, it don't even register. All right, and this devil, he's gonna be uncomfortable for 1,000 years, man. Uncomfort that the earth has never witnessed, man. Okay, because you're going into captivity on the real gods, man. All right, you are imitation. Okay, you play compared to how the Israelites, all right, going to have you devils in the kingdom, man. But the Lord has yet chosen Israel. All right, we back. You brothers. Hey, remember yourselves, men. Keep conforming to your Howard shot, man. Leave this world behind. You few sisters that believe, leave this world behind. Leave all that bullshit that you were taught in the West. None of it, okay, none of it is needed for nation building, man. In the kingdom, man. Let that shit die here. Let that shit die now. Because we're constantly coming to life in your house shop, man. So Lord will you, brothers. All right, and you sisters edified once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations, hopefully, shalom.